Guys, I am on the way to a brand new customer. This is a no AC call. The landlord just called me and said that the tenant said that the pilot light went out, so I'm assuming this is gas. I have no prior information. I think the landlord said this is for the first floor tenant. So guys, I'm almost here now. Let's go take a look. I'll see y'all when I get inside. Alright guys, this is a York 80% furnace. Looks to be around 70,000 BTUs. I just turned the thermostat on. And when I got here, the tenant said this is their first year in the house. She said she replaced the batteries, but when I got here, the thermostat was blank. And she indeed said that the batteries in the thermostat was new. What I did was I just jiggled around the batteries in the thermostat and the light came on. Guys, let me get my pocket thermometer. I'll be back. Alright guys. What I'm doing is checking the amps on my blower motor. This isn't a large furnace, so I know the motor's not going to sound like a rocket when it turns on, but I want to verify amps as well as check my supply temp. Can't really see this on the camera, but I definitely do see my squirrel cage running. Putting two and two together, the fact that the thermostat is blank, I would probably still recommend replacing those batteries. This could 100% cause issues with the heat. Now once again, this is the tenant's first year with this unit. This is a heat-only furnace, and one thing I'm going to make sure she knows is she needs to replace this filter at least every 3 months. Check it. Now guys, with these pleated filters, it is recommended to replace these filters every 3 months, or at least check them. Depending on the usage and the scenario, if a customer has a lot of pets, typically after 3 months it's going to look pretty dirty, but the ducts are clean and the customer doesn't run the unit as often, maybe after 3 months the filter will still look somewhat white. But regardless of how often they run the unit, every 3 months it's recommended to inspect these pleated filters, and if it's not white, if it's tan or dark like this, replace the filter. Looks like the motor got replaced here. What's out of this unit? Yeah, this looks like a newer motor, guys. Alright. Alright guys, let me see if I got some batteries on the truck. I'll be back. Guys, I just spoke to the landlord and he wants to get the heat maintenance done. So we're going to do a heat maintenance on both of these units, and we'll also come back out here next spring to make sure that we can avoid any more future issues. Honorary mention for you business owners, whichever piece of equipment, whether this be a furnace, heat pump, air handler, boiler, make sure you guys have your assortment of tags and stickers. If the customer don't already have you on speed dial, they know they can go near the equipment and they can see your number, so they can call you in case of emergency, or if they had any other questions pertaining to the heat or AC. It doesn't have to look like mine's. But make sure you guys have some identification stickers, so it'll make it easier for the customer to know who to call if they need service. But alright guys, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean the burners and I'm gonna check my sensor. Let me get what I need here. I'll be right back. Alright guys, and you're gonna hear me say this a lot. I always advocate for maintenance on top of making repairs on furnaces and AC units past a certain age. Reason being is because why not? Technically, I'm out here today because of a no heat situation. If I see an opportunity to avoid future issues down the line, why not bring up maintenance? Even if the customer doesn't want to get it done, give them the option of knowing that maintenance does exist. The last thing you want to do is not mention maintenance on an older piece of equipment, and now it's too late, and now the customer has to get a furnace replaced due to a cracked heat exchanger, or they got to get an AC unit replaced due to a bad compressor. At that point, it'll be too late for maintenance. I get the question a lot, hey, do I need maintenance done on my 2-year-old furnace? Do I need maintenance done on my 20-year-old furnace? And maintenance is always beneficial, because if a customer asks me how long should XYZ last, there is no way I can correctly tell you how long parts are going to last or what the condition of a part is unless we do a proper checkup and we can inspect the furnace or AC unit. And at that point, we can explain to the customer what XYZ is doing, and most importantly, what they can expect from XYZ moving forward. There you have it, guys. Make sure you're staying on your P's and Q's. If you're out here doing no AC and no heat calls, make sure the customer understands the purpose of maintenance and the importance of it. If you get it done early enough on the back end, you'll have a lot more guarantees knowing that the furnace has been serviced prior to breakdowns. So now you'll have a lot less wear and tear on the back end to deal with. But guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the flame sensors out. All I did so far was clean the burners, but I got 2 brand new filters down here. Let's do the heat maintenance. I'll be right back. And what's the input of this one? 80,000 BTU. Alright guys, both igniters tested good. I think one was 50 and the other one was like 55. But what I'm gonna do next is clean my inducer ports. Make sure that's good. Let me clean the other one. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we got our filters in. Everything is rocking and rolling. But there you have it. No heat call. Found the batteries dead in the thermostat. Found filter clog. We solved that issue by getting the service done on the unit, on both units. Everything's rocking and rolling. Clean the burners, clean the sensor. My igniter is rocking and rolling. The filter's clean. And most importantly, I'm gonna bring the tenant down here to explain to her how to replace the filter and how often to do it, and also with the batteries. I think those are 2 AAA batteries upstairs. But alright guys, there you have it. Let me do the paperwork and head on out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.